There's no reason. And that's my other thing about this game that a lot of people were defending, but I also think is really stupid. And there are, again, since I'm just kind of jumping around topics, this game...
Wait, did I go back to the first area?
Yes.
I meant to go back to the other one.
There's a lot? What are you doing?
Why don't you talk to...
You can go back to the village the manual way. You don't have to talk to him. If you go through the gate, you go back to the village.
I thought one of the NPCs stopped you.
No. Anyway. It's that reason. The other thing that this game does and is really divisive, and I've seen more people make it divisive, and it's nice to see people complaining because this is dumb as hell, where this game is like Breath of the Wild-esque. So you have just kind of arbitrarily limited inventory, arbitrarily limited space, like arbitrarily limited access to like your, you know, a box, your pasture, and it's like, oh, you're in the past, but it's like, the modern conveniences of Pokemon giving you access to your entire box at any given time is just a...
Also, a god gave you a phone, he can give you a fucking PC, especially fucking because to get Rotom and a Porygon into this game, like, those time warp things are for those and other Pokemon who exist. You could have dropped a fucking PC box through one of those.
And a few sort of big YouTubers doing this kind of obnoxious thing of, oh, if you're complaining about the inventory, you're just playing the game wrong. Every time you go back to camp, if you store items, you're never going to have an inventory problem. Anyone complaining about the inventory just doesn't know how to manage it. I've never upgraded my inventory once. Upgrading your inventory is a waste of money. All you have to do is...
I don't seem to have Skunky.
I'm sorry, but no, the inventory is just way too arbitrary. That is a limit that exists purely because it's Breath of the Wild-esque, and it's a limit for the sake of limits. Except this is a game where, like...
Yeah. Beat was ground move, poison gas, acid spray. Oh, Gastro.
This is a game.
Ow. 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 I'm dying of poison. How do I not die of poison?
You run like a bitch.
Poison gas. It avoided, but it's still you. Do those have to connect for them to count?
I don't... I think they do.
I don't know, I guess it was a low power ground move. I will get the defeated. Let's see if defeated was a ground move. Didn't say anything at the point. That's dumb.
It has to hit.
That is bullshit.
Anyway. This is jumping around topics. I'm trying... The reason this battle system and just everything... Because we were talking about, like, depth and stuff, and kind of went on that side tangent, but I do want to explain. Like, people want a lot of the ideas from this to carry into other Pokemon games, for people that... When you bring up the depth thing, people are like, okay then, just make the agile, like, style and the strong style, just add that into the main game. Just bring back the abilities and everything, but now you could use a strong move, and if a Pokemon uses a strong, perfect example of a spacing problem.
Let's see what Stardust
and Sky Tumble
and Sky Tumble is what you need
for Feather Balls.
So
Anyway. Damn it.
oh, see you mud ball. Come on. Damn it.
Because, so, like, people try to say, like, oh, then just, like, if the combat system is, like, then people like, oh, okay, then just take the, like, agile and the strong style and just make that a natural part of Pokemon combat. That would be fine, but the thing is, even if we go back to sort of old school,
and again, this is something funny, to justify the strong and agile, they had to remove moves, like, as an example, and it's really funny with Gastron, like, water, is that an alpha? Or
yes, it's an alpha.
Then run back and save to justify, so that they could justify, like, come on, it should eventually, so they could justify the agile and strong. There are a lot of moves that, oh damn it, that's roll. There are a lot of moves that are just fucking missing.
Yes.
Like, Surf doesn't exist. Water jumps from fucking water pulse to Hydro Pump. Surf and
Skull do not exist.
They don't exist in this game.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, strong-styled, like, the strong-styled, water pulse basically makes it the power
of Skull.
Actually think it's, because it's a power, 60 move, I actually think it's a bit weaker, making it 75, so it's technically 5
It's close.
The point is, it basically turns
Scald!
Now, where is that alpha?
Behind you. Over there. That's it. Over there. It's an alpha. No, like, there. Seriously, it's right there. See?
First, just to look at it, because it's 60. Yeah, 75.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to say it here, but I kind of have to try it, because this is a perfect example. Because of a bunch of shit they took away, Water Pulse initially confused, because of Water Pulse initially, and they took out Confusion, they had to give it an effect. The effect they gave it was that the move never misses, meaning that it's effectively a 100 accuracy move. So this is a 75 move that never misses. If you had the strong and agile and had something like Scald, even if we say that because it's a traditional Pokemon game we have Confusion again, this would still be a 75 power move that could confuse, and it's like, yeah, that's good and could do some cheesy shit, but then Scald would go from 80 to 90 something. And would either still have the chance to burn, or even if they dropped its chance to burn from 30 to 10, that move is still better, because it is higher powered, and it has probably... And it has probably an infinitely better secondary effect.
At the... Infinitely better secondary effect, with a small caveat of giving up a burn chance for more damage, but...
But like I said, even... for something like that to work, they would have had, what they would have to do is they would have to make it to where the move can't burn at all. So you have a 100 or maybe even 110 power move, but it has no secondary effects. But then you would also have to fuck with its accuracy.
Or, well, this goes into what a lot of people said would be balanced, but then... I think this isn't really balanced, and this is just nonsense. That, like, strong style moves, people are like, okay, what if we do it this way? The stronger the move becomes, the more, like, the stronger the move becomes, the more accuracy you lose, where agile is a faster move, but you lose power for accuracy, and then it's like, you're either gaining power at the cost of accuracy, or gaining accuracy at the cost of power. So people are like...
But that would still, if you had the full gambit of moves, now it would all come down to how shit does, like, raise or drop, but there would still be a move that, because of how it's altered, that move is the, like, highest damaging move of that type, and is now also the safest. I'm not sure what that move would be, because it would depend on how things would alter, but, like, something like Hydro Pump or Fire Blast or whatever, because those are stronger. It's like, if you made those weaker with Agile, even if they still drop from, like, 120 to, like, 100, that's still a 100 power move.
And
that really doesn't exist.
And you're gaining accuracy.
Yes.
Other than the PP limit being small. Oh, I'm gonna take Hydro Pump, and I'm just gonna actually get rid of, like, even if it's 30 points, and it's like, you basically make Hydro Pump, where it ends up like 100 accuracy and like 90 power. Hydro Pump becomes the equivalent of, like, Flamethrower at that point, and some people...
Hey, that's another thing, because, like, if you ended up with, like, 100 accuracy, and again, if you ended up with, like, a 100 accuracy move, like, or even if it wasn't 100, now, like, 95 could still have a chance to miss, but turning, like, Fire Blast or Hydro Pump or something into, like, a 95 or 100 power move with 95 accuracy, that is, other than the small chance to miss, that is a better... Kill yourself. Okay, you're very close to the end. That is better than, like, Flamethrower at that point, because it is stronger.
Other than the PP thing...
Well, you say that, but the dumb thing, I believe Hydro Pump, Fire Blast, Thunder, and Blizzard are all actually 10 and not 5.
You know what I'm getting at. It's slightly lower PP.
I know Thunder is a 10.
It's slightly lower PP. At sort of the cost of you are giving up power. But because you're giving up power and you're gaining accuracy, and you're still...
Or you're doing the other way of taking something like Flamethrower and basically, you know, giving it, like, power or whatever. And I think I hear a storm picking up, so unfortunately we might have to stop in a minute.
There is stormy weather.
I will probably just attempt to do 1 or 2 more attempts at trying to catch this alpha Pokemon, and then unfortunately stop.
Weather will do that. Just hate recording on it.
Yeah, so that's what I said. I will give probably 1 or 2 more.
Anyway, like, from leaving it.
Well, that sucks if this was cut short. Fucking Georgia weather. It's a fucking roulette wheel.
Yes.
Where's the alpha? This area looks the fucking same. Oh, there he is. There's the lab. Or lass. I don't know.
My sort of repeated rambling point. Trying to add agile and strong into a regular Pokemon game, people were doing this like, acting like, oh, this is like the best. This is what Pokemon needs. It's like, oh, this is what Pokemon needs. Imagine, like, agile and...
No, it shouldn't kill itself because of...
Yes.
Yeah, because of how low my HP was. I just need a fucking great ball to catch and we'll be good.
people going on about, oh, this is what Pokemon needs. Agile and strong could add so much extra flavor to Pokemon. Except the more I thought about that, the more I'm like, it doesn't really add the flavor you think it does. Because in my opinion, depending on how they balance it, all that does is just kind of mess with certain order.
Again, like, a funny thing is this is a move that actually, other than stat change, like, this move, now I can't alter it, but it's Mystical Fire. Normally it was 75, so they did drop its power by 5, but that's because what this game did, and again, this is something that doesn't, that makes things more, like, sort of brainless in some ways. This normally only lowered special. Now this move lowers both physical and special because it lowers offensive stats. It also only hits once, and offensive stats don't exist. Now, come on, RNG, be on my side. Okay, fucking good. It's at red health. It has a fucking status. It's a goddamn great ball. Come on, game. I want to fucking stop just because of how the weather around here. And this is why I hate RNG. And again, because of the weather and shit, going to save or back to camp and stuff. Basically, to finish it off, I said,
I have to do another longer recording.
Yeah, so I'll have to try to do a longer recording when the weather is
not as random, because you'll know it is. It died down.
But
no,
Damn. Yes, you're bringing up it, like, as the weather around here does, it cycles, and because of that, we're currently in a cycle of it.
It's dropping off.
But normally, whenever it does something like that, it will pick up 10 or so minutes later. You know, you have that little weather thing. You have that little weather thing on your computer. You don't have to fully roll over it. Just look at the icon. What does it say right now?
Cloudy.
Okay, so...
Because we did hear some kind of shit weather, so stopping isn't...
I'm still going to stop just in case and
try
shit.
to get some longer recordings of
Especially with this game not being able to roll back...
saves. Though, remember...
And it's picking back up.
Yeah.
So I'm
and even then, the way OBS records... And something I might start doing as a paranoid thing, I have OBS recording in a way where we have a non-corruptible file format.
Okay, let's just, because it's picking back up, let's stop and try to make
that file format exists in a way where it's supposed to sort of catch itself if the recording is interrupted. And a good way to do that is to set the always convert, so as soon as you stop a recording, it converts, but I don't have that set, but I'm about to just stop anyway. With all of that said, however, because it is storming, we're going to stop because
it was raining in game.
Power outage problems. Unfortunately, this was a little bit short, so we'll get a longer recording for the game later, meaning I can get my own short recording later as well, or wait until we get a longer recording and I can just get my own longer one.
Because I really didn't do a lot of story shit in this recording.
With all of that said, however, we're only stopping because of the weather. I hope you all enjoyed this set of Pokemon Legends Arceus videos. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later. It's time for the question of the day and my overall thoughts on the topic. So, anyway, mild spoiler warning in case you haven't played the new games, but I'm just discussing mechanics in Scarlet and Violet. So, anyway, how do you feel about the fact that none of the systems from Legends Arceus carried over into Scarlet and Violet? Okay, and before anyone says it, I know you can edit your moves like you can in Legends, where there is no longer a move reminder. You can just change out moves on the fly from your party menu, but other than that, we do not have the strong and agile style. We do not have any of the catching mechanics. We don't have the grit rocks. And we do not have drowsy and frostbite. Now, I will quickly try to cover my opinions on everything that was done, because I hate rambling in my inslates for an eternity, but I get passionate about the points I'm trying to make. So let me try to lightning round this. So, the major mechanics of Legends Arceus when it comes to battling is the strong and agile style. That mechanic was incredibly bizarre because the game effectively somewhat plays like Final Fantasy X. So I'm happy that those mechanics are gone, because that goes back to the standard turn-based order of the way Pokemon works in the main series, where the speed stat controls exactly who moves first or not, unless a move or ability gives someone a priority increase, in which case that Pokemon can go before other Pokemon, versus the Legends Arceus idea, which, again, I think is cool on paper, but I really do feel like does not work out at all, because the game pretty much cheats. It's either use agile style to try and get more speed turns, and you basically do no fucking damage, and then you get destroyed, or you just use up 2 PP, click strong style, often gain more accuracy and power, and destroy something before it can hit you, because the game is always more or less cheating, and the game seems to actually get the best use of the style switching. If the game does a strong style move, you almost always die instantly. If the game does agile, you almost always end up going last, and the game gets multiple turns. Hell, even the game using agile, it usually ends up in a position to easily kill your entire team. Plus, we have the battle looping problem, where the game can, like, do damage, KO a Pokemon, and effectively keep its turn cycle going. You throw in a new Pokemon, and instead of the game letting the new Pokemon come in for free, it effectively takes damage. Then you throw in your next Pokemon, and it takes damage, and so on and so forth. Then you lose an entire team in like 30 seconds. So I don't think the style switching was a good idea. It was just a stupid battle system. The Grit Rocks being gone, I also think is okay, because the way the Grit Rocks worked was combining EVs and IVs into one stat, and I never want to see a Pokemon game let you min-max a Pokemon again, so that change is welcomed. However, if they had used the rocks and separated the IVs and EVs, where the rocks only affected IVs and the EVs were normal Pokemon EVs, I would have been okay, because I wish they would let you edit stats up and down, which also, as a side note, a few leakers had said that you would get a PK Hex like editing tool that lets you edit Pokemon, but that doesn't fucking exist. And bottle caps do not let you decrease stats, so we're still missing a stat drop bottle cap or some kind of equivalent idea, which is unfortunate, because getting a 0 IV for Trick Room is incredibly useful, and that would let far more people use Trick Room, but I really do need to not ramble, so let me bullet point the last few things. So, The other things that are also basically missing are Drowsy and Frostbite. Drowsy is both incredibly good and incredibly stupid because Drowsy basically turned sleep into a similar bullshit status that kind of works in the way the confusion status does. Yes, confusion technically counts as a status, where you either move or you don't. So, Drowsy, on the one hand, could be argued to be more fair, but on the other hand, could be argued to increase RNG, where now sleep might do nothing, or sleep might fuck you up more. I wish they would just create a consistent rule for 1, have a forced sleep clause, and 2, just make sleep basically like 3 set turns, like you often do in certain competitive rule sets, instead of the random crapshoot that you often do in the main game. Just limit the amount of sleep so that it's less random and force a sleep clause. Frostbite being gone actually upsets me because a special attack dropping equivalent to how Burn drops physical attack, I think, is incredible, because special attackers are far too free because there is no ability like Intimidate except it drops special attack. And no, that one Peril Pokemon that has an averaging ability of a slight decrease in special attack does not count, because that's a unique stat, versus how Intimidate is a stat drop where you get a negative stat type versus just a passive special attack is weaker. Okay, this ramble really has gone on far too long, but overall, I'm happy that Pokemon is basically back to normal, other than the 1 or 2 things that were good ideas like Frostbite. But anyway, you can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments, or you can leave them on social media. All of my social media links, as well as my Discord links, are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you subscribe to the channel and if you follow me on social media, that really helps our communities grow. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope I will see you all next time. So, as always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, everybody. I hope you come back someday. See you later.